Hello from Safari West. My name is Nate. I'm pleased to greet you guys from our 400-acre facility here in Santa Rosa, California. Safari West has been in Sonoma County for 27 years. We have about 1,000 animals, and we specialize in showing people what makes these beautiful animals so unique. Today I'm pleased to be joined by our friends at Markham Vineyards. I've got Jake over here with me. He's brought a couple of wines for us to taste today, and I'm going to turn it over to him to show us what he brought.
Great, thank you so much, Nate. So happy to be here at Safari West. My name is Jake Hager. I manage the tasting room as well as a resident expert of wine and sommelier. And so I get to do fun things like this, which are, we're matching Markham Vineyards wines with animals that you'd see on safari. And one of the reasons why we think this is a great partnership is because of the genuine and accessibility that Safari West is striving to do with their safari tours. And we at Markham want to be the approachable, friendly, genuine winery as well. And so we're doing fun things like this. Also, Safari West is engaging in philanthropic actions and charity, and Markham is as well, with the Gary Sinise Foundation and helping veterans and first responders, as well as the James Beard Foundation helping women chefs. And so a little bit about Markham. We're one of the oldest wineries in Napa Valley. With that being said, we're going through a renaissance. We're changing our labels, we're changing some of the wines we make, and we're changing our hospitality. Come visit me and see the 140-year-old cellar we have. And so today we're matching these wines together with these animals, and so we're going to send it out to Safari. But before we do, I'm going to talk about the first wine and match that we have. So we're coupling this beautiful rosé of Pinot Noir from Oak Knoll. Cheers, Nate.
Thank you.
With the Flamingo, which, you know, kind of a no-brainer, pink wine, pink bird, but there's so much to be said about how these couple together. You know, first is when you see rosé, just like you see a Flamingo, you think beach, you think sunshine, you think refreshing, relaxation. That's what I think of when I think of a rosé. You think of gatherings, picnics, parks. Well, a group, a flock of flamingos is called flamboyance, hand in hand. But even more than that is how they get their color. Flamingos eat crustaceans, mollusks, algae, and that algae has beta carotene, and that changes the color of their feathers. It gives them a tinge of pink. It's very similar to how rosé wine is made. You take a red wine grape with a red skin, and the inside is clear. And you crush that grape, that clear juice interacts with the skins and gives it just a tinge of color, just a tinge of pink. And that's what we have today. It could only just be a couple hours. And so this is a really fun thing we're doing today. We're matching these wines and these beautiful animals. And so this is the first one. All right, with that, let's see if this reminds us of flamingos. Cheers.
That's delicious.
That's fantastic. And with that, we're going to send it out into the field for the next match.
Thanks, team. I'm Alex. I'm here with Greg, and we are here with our 3 beautiful ostriches. We have 3 females here on property. They are the largest bird in the world, and they are completely flightless. And I don't mean like a chicken flightless, I mean completely flightless, 0 inches of altitude. They can run about 40-45 miles an hour, which is really, really impressive. As you can tell, they are just bipedal animals, so they'll just get chugging along with those legs. And if they dial that back to around 30 to 35, they can run for nearly an hour. They have some impressive breathing techniques that helps them with their stamina.
That's nice.
Sorry, Greg, they're pretty curious.
Yeah. And there goes the wine. All right, so we're with the drinking the Chardonnay here, the Markham Vineyards Oak Knoll District Series Chardonnay, and we with the Noble Ostrich, and they are a very curious animal. This is my second time out to this park, and they have been the most curious animal that you can come across, and
Absolutely.
They like wine apparently. As Alex had mentioned, they're the largest bird on Earth and the tallest bipedal exception maybe being Shaquille O'Neal, my uncle. They have giant feathers, enormous wings, long necks, and much like the Chardonnay, a big personality.
Absolutely.
They're very curious, and they're kind of full of desperate parts, much like the Chardonnay. When you start sipping the wine, it's got the toasty oakiness, it's got the creaminess on the palate, it's got that mouthfeel, that acidity. It really just makes your mouth water, and ostriches don't spit, do they?
They do not.
Okay, that's good, that's good. All right. So there are all types of fruit in the Chardonnay, but bananas to strawberries. It all comes together, much like the ostrich, to make a really beautiful wine or bird. They're a large body, just like the Chardonnay, a large personality, just like the Chardonnay, one big yellow bird and one big yellow wine. Chardonnay originates from France and made its way to the U.S. As far as the U.S. goes, it's actually the most widely planted fruit, wine grape fruit, and it's also in the world the most widely planted white wine grape. So it has a really good footprint out there. So we encourage you to come to the winery or come to Safari West. Come to the winery though, try some Chardonnay, come to Safari West and check out some ostriches.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, folks, that's it for the Chardonnay. Now we're gonna send it over to another guide up the hill with another animal for another awesome matching.
Thanks guys, so now we're here by our giraffe barn, some of Africa's most iconic creatures, obviously the tallest land animal in the world. We all know what giraffes are, but I don't know if you guys know what a group of giraffes is called. Now they actually have two. If they're standing together like they are right now, this is what we call a tower of giraffe. But when they're moving together, it's called a journey. Now I could sit here literally all day and talk giraffes with you guys, but we do have some excellent wine here in front of you, and I'd kind of like to know more about it, so let's hand it over.
All right, let's do it. Thanks, Jeff. Hi, everyone. I'm Bridget Harris, Director of Winery Marketing and Sales for Markham Vineyards. I have been a huge fan of Safari West for over 10 years after my first visit in 2010 when a certain giraffe took a liking to me and me to him. So I am so thrilled to be able to present the perfect partner wine for the giraffe, our Markham Estate Merlot. Now, the giraffes are clearly a point of pride for Safari West, just as we are particularly proud and known for our Merlot. Giraffes are obviously a giant animal, but it's really hard to get a true sense until you experience one up close and in person. A lot like our Merlot, actually. It's unexpectedly substantial. It's balanced with a long, persistent, deep fruit finish. Now, watching a giraffe glide as it walks reminds me of the palate of this wine. It's elegant like a giraffe is graceful. It's smooth and effortless. You have to see a giraffe in person, just like you have to taste this Merlot. So let's try it.
Oh yes, I'm so excited.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, delicious. All right. So I truly hope you'll have a chance to visit both Safari West in Sonoma and Markham Vineyards in Napa.
So that about does it here at our giraffe station. Why don't we send it back out on the field and see what else we can find for our next match.
Hi folks, Alex here again. I'm up here on the top of the hill with Dina, and we're talking about the Malbec and our Cape Buffalo over here for an awesome matching. Yes, many people mistake them for the Asian water buffalo, but alas, they are Cape Buffalo of Africa. They're a member of Africa's Big Five. They're a big old oxen. They're a very big, powerful animal. One of my favorite animals here at the park. Over there, over my left shoulder, we have our big dominant male. His name's Oak. You can tell who he is by not just the sheer size of him, but the awesome bossing he has on his horns there. He's got some big buildup going there, and that's a good way to tell the difference between the males and females for these folk. They also have a very acute sense of smell, which, as we all know, goes great when you're tasting your wines.
All right, great. Thanks, Alex. I'm Dina. I'm the events manager at Markham Vineyards. I'm here with the Cape Buffalo, and as Alex said, we're partnering it with our Malbec. This is a new release for us. This is one powerful pairing. The Cape Buffalo may look like a cow with a crazy horn, but it's actually one of Africa's big 5 animals, as Alex mentioned. They're not easy prey for other animals because of their ability to band together and defend themselves. Just our Malbec is one of the big 5 Bordeaux blends, but by itself it's pretty big. But when it's blended with the other varietals, it proves to be a true powerhouse. The Cape Buffalo is an important and respected animal. The same can be said for Malbec. This grape had to fight its way out of obscurity in France to become one of the most popular varietals here in the US and Argentina. Taste the wine, feel its power, and its silky, chocolatey flavor. Cheers!
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Hey, it's Jeff out here by the Rhino enclosure. What we have here on site are 3 southern white rhinos. So there are only 2 African species, the white and the black rhino. This species is the largest on the continent of Africa, averaging around 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. Very big animals. But to kind of expand on that a little bit, I'm going to hand it over to Greg here.
Thank you, Jeff. The rhino is a animal that we are matching with the petite syrah, a dusky petite syrah, and we're featuring the Markham St. Helena District Series Petite Syrah. There's no better match than the Rhino and a good petite. Counterintuitive, there's nothing about a petite that is petite. It's actually a big wine just like the Rhino. So the unpetite Rhino weighs more than a car, as Jeff pointed out, 5,000 to 6,000 pounds, or maybe 2 of my cars. It eats more than 100 pounds of food a day, so maybe 2 of me. Good job that thankfully they're herbivores, or yeah?
They are, yes,
okay,
absolutely.
thank you, that's good, that's good. The Petite Syrah, you know, our wine itself comes from 100-year-old vines, and so much like 100 pounds, 100-year-old vine, so it's old there. The Rhino skin itself is about 2 inches thick, and the Petite Syrah grape is also a thick-skinned grape, and that provides a lot of the tannins, which gives you a lot of that depth of flavor. So it's a deep, dark, and dense wine, just like the Rhino. The rhinoceros itself, the nose, or it means nose horn. And so a good Petite Syrah, it's all about the nose. It's got a pretty powerful nose. It's the Rhino itself, big, heavy. When they walk, they snort, they breathe heavy. Great wafts of dust pop up, much like a Petite Syrah. Start swirling that glass, start smelling it, and you're gonna get great wafts of earthiness out of it as well. So there we have it. The Petite Syrah and the Rhino, both big, heavy, earthy. Not sure which one I'm talking about anymore, Petite Syrah or the Rhino. But both are dark and distinctive giants, animals that are great to experience. So
Excellent.
let's give it a try.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yep, that's earthy.
That's earthy. That's great. All right, with that, we're going to send it back to our other team to talk about our next match with the tortoises.
Hi, beautiful people. We're back here at base camp. The last match of the day is going to be this spurred African tortoise. It's the 3rd largest tortoise in the world, in this Rocker Box Vineyard Cabernet. We think this works on multiple levels. One is the friendliness, the approachability, all the different tortoises you see around the world. You know, close related is the box turtle, and I'm sure everyone's had a box turtle pet growing up. Well, Cabernet is one of the most planted red varieties in the entire world. And if you've had a red wine, you've probably had a Cabernet. Beyond that, they look like stoic rocks to me, stoic moving rocks. This vineyard is Rocker Box Cabernet, and this grows in a canyon of rocks. And so it really has a mineral aspect to it. And then finally, I like to think that the tortoise didn't win the race over the hare because it crossed some finish line. It won because it lived longer. They can live over 100 years. And Cabernet, and specifically one that's grown in these mineral rocks, is one of the best aged and wines that you could possibly get. It's a collector's item. So we love this matching between the Rocker Box Vineyard Cabernet and this tortoise. Let's see if it tastes like a great match.
Cheers.
Cheers. What do you
That's
think?
delicious.
Good?
That's really good.
Fantastic. So, beautiful people, that is the last match of the day, and I've had a whole lot of fun. Have you had fun, Nate?
This has been a great time.
Yeah, this is totally fun and totally neat and different. You can buy this wine individually or as a gift pack on our website, markhamvineyards.com, or you can come visit me in the tasting room, and I'll take care of you. I'll share more wines and more stories with you, and we can talk about our charities and the things that we do. Would you like to talk a little bit about the amazing work that Safari West is doing in their charity?
Absolutely. So first of all, if you ever want to come see these animals in person, you can check us out at Safari West in Santa Rosa, California. Reservations available at safariwest.com. But another thing we love to mention here is that Safari West has a nonprofit branch called the Safari West Wildlife Foundation that supports educational programs for youths in the community and around the country. Safari West Wildlife Foundation has several programs that are focused on getting kids out here that might not otherwise have a chance, and in some cases, bringing our animals and our presentations to them remotely. To find out more about Safari West, check out safariwest.com, and to find out more about the Safari West Wildlife Foundation, visit safariwestwildlifefoundation.org. Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers!